Here's my hero. If there's an Ernie Africanus in the rodeo world in the calf roping, this is the guy. 1976, he won the Canadian title. You're looking at a man 47 years young. Gray hair, that's wisdom, not age. He's a rancher, soft-spoken gentleman. Billy Reeder.
Bill Reeder was born July 7th, 1945, in the Rocky Mountain foothills just outside of Contestant, Alberta, the town where his great-grandparents settled in the 1890s. Bill grew up on the homestead of his grandparents. As a child, one of Bill's favorite pastimes was playing with a horse. Over the years, his equine talents had evolved and would come to earn him prestigious accolades in the future. He attended both Lethbridge Community College and Utah State University, where he met and married the love of his life, Pamela Swenson, on September 7, 1966. He rounded his education out with a Bachelor of Science, Agriculture, Production, Animal Science degree from the Montana State University in Bozeman, Montana, on March 15, 1969. Bill began roping calves in 1970 in southern Alberta in the Chinook Rodeo Association and tested his talents at the bucking end of the arena during his amateur years. Deciding to focus on the timed event end, he also added steer wrestling and team roping to his repertoire and won the Chinook Rodeo Association calf roping title in 1972 and 1973. He turned professional in 1974 and traveled with the likes of Jim Bearman Campbell and Jim Gladstone. It was Jim Gladstone who showed Bill the ropes, as well as two well-respected old-timers in Fred Gladstone and Charlie Ivins, who gave Bill tips on how to try new ideas for a chance for improvement. In his rookie season, Bill finished 9th in the Canadian standings and qualified for the first ever Canadian Finals rodeo in Edmonton. Over the first 5 rounds, it appeared Bill was well on his way to capturing the Canadian title. But a poor run on the final day, the only round in which he failed to place, combined with a go-round win by 5-time Canadian champion Lorne Wells, put the two ropers in a tie for first place with 130 championship points. Although Bill had edged Lorne Wells out for money won at the first CFR, the decision was made that the best aggregate time at the finals would ultimately break the tie, and Bill Reeder had to settle for second place. The 1976 season saw Bill Reeder set a new Canadian record for the fast time in the tie-down roping, and for the third consecutive year he qualified for the Canadian Finals rodeo. Heading into the final round in Edmonton, Bill needed to win the go-round outright to have any chance at the Canadian title. He promptly won that 6th round, his first go-round win at the Canadian Finals, and for a second time in 3 years found himself in a tie for first place for the Canadian Championship. However, had the best aggregate time been used to break the tie as it did in 1974, Bill would have been awarded the championship, but the rules had changed, and Bill Reeder now had to go head-to-head in a single run-off roping against his friend and mentor, 1976 season leader and 3-time Canadian champion Jim Gladstone. In the end, it was Bill Reeder who prevailed, capturing the Canadian tie-down roping championship, the first time any Canadian rodeo championship was decided through sudden death. He would be the reserve champion of Canada in 1979 and once again in 1982. And in 1983, Bill Reeder became the first tie-down roper to qualify for the Canadian Finals rodeo in 10 consecutive years. He made his 11th and final appearance at the Canadian Finals rodeo in Edmonton in 1988. As a champion tie-down roper, Bill Reeder owned and trained some champion roping horses as well. Out of his string of horses, his favorite was Chaleo, with whom he won his lone Canadian tie-down roping championship. Another horse, Yankee,
was twice named the CPRA Tie-Down Roping Horse of the Year in 1980 and 1982. And finally, Turbo
was twice named the Tie-Down Roping Horse of the Year in 1988 and again in 1993, after Bill had sold him to rookie tie-down roper Marty Becker, who also ended up as the 1993 season year leader. Still active on the senior pro rodeo scene, where he was at the tender age of 67, the Canadian Senior Pro All-Around Champion in 2012, and the Ribbon Roping Champion in the plus 60 category with partner Jerry Deuce. The Canadian Senior Pro Tie-Down Roping Champion in the 68 age plus category in 2013 and 14, and he was the season leader in different team, tie-down, and breakaway roping divisions 11 times between 2012 and 2022. In 2014, Bill and his partner Robert Hagee won $32,000 U.S. at the World Series of Team Roping finale in Las Vegas, the biggest single payday of his entire rodeo career. Bill competed against a lot of great cowboys at a lot of great rodeos, but maintains that the Pendleton Roundup was always his favorite. Over his life and career, Bill's wife Pam and children Lynette, Steve, and Wade were always his greatest supporters. Bill also credits his father for teaching him horsemanship skills and always being there to help and support him. And his mother was one of his largest supporters and his biggest fan. We presented this humble man with his plaque for his induction at the 2022 Raymond Stampede. He was surrounded by loving family and friends, and tonight we are truly honored to officially induct Bill Reeder as a contestant into the Canadian Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame.